All right, today we're going to be talking about the trade that I ended up taking on ESA and how I can improve off of it because it did end up being a loss. And yeah, just kind of talking about it. So, on the 4 hour, you can see that we had pushed out of this 4 hour gap on both indexes. So, that was kind of, I would say, formulating my bias for the day. Obviously, I didn't want that to be, a locked in bias. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be like, yes, we have to do this because that's just simply not how this works. That's not what the market does. It doesn't just do one thing and one thing only. Otherwise, it'd be pretty dang easy to predict where it was going. And then I would say on the hourly, it was looking but we did, sweep into here and then get pushes out. And then overall, we had bumped up a little bit. This, we opened up. This is the wick of that candle. I'll just move that. But that's the wick of that candle. So that's kind of how we were opening. And then obviously this candle was still forming. But yeah, that was, looks like we're going down a little bit. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so overall, not looking like the cleanest coming into market open, not a like super strong sense of direction, and that was just because we were kind of chopping, throughout here. Nasdaq was also kind of looking the same. As far as draws on the day, I didn't really want anything to the upside because I would have had to trade into this 4 hour gap. So that was kind of, my thought process on trades to the upside. Just didn't really want them because we'd have to be trading within this gap. So that really only left these targets to the downside. Then there was also this right here that honestly I probably should have looked at more because I have a decent feeling that that is one of the reasons why we ended up reversing off of here. But yeah, looking at the 15-minute overall, still pretty, chop work. So I kind of wanted to come into market open with a pretty, open mind. And I think I definitely could have done better in a couple ways. But yeah, overall, came into market with more of a bearish bias, but I probably could have done better with the fact that obviously I don't know what's going to happen within this market, and I have to be aware of that, and I have to be patient with that fact. Yeah, 5 minute as well. We came into market open looking a decent amount more bearish because of this trend down. And then off of market open, we did end up pushing downwards on both indexes. That was kind of, telling me, okay, we're more than likely going to end up and come down and sweep these out. But we never ended up getting a deep enough retracement back up to the upside when we retraced here, so I was not able to get an entry. And at the same time, oh, by the way, today is FOMC. That's something to definitely keep in the back of my mind. Something that I probably failed to do as much as I should today. But from there, yeah, we just kind of went down. I think I was getting a little bit of FOMO when this is happening, and I do feel like I just have not traded a lot as well. This last week or so of April has just been straight chop work during New York, and I think that was kind of getting to me and making me want to take a trade, I'd say. And obviously you don't want that to happen because that is going to lead you to forcing trades. But yeah, from there we ended up pushing further down, and this is where I should have noticed, okay, Nasdaq is not pushing further down. Nasdaq looks way more bullish. Be patient, and that's what I should have done, and I should have been more patient. But when we did come up into equilibrium, I saw that, and I was probably really only considering, ES as the main index, and I really should have been looking at Nasdaq and just kind of seeing that, hey, Nasdaq does not really look like it's going to come all the way down to here now and target those. Like maybe if we had more confirmation, maybe if price originally pushed down to here, or this obviously wasn't a bullish move up, it would have been different. But overall, yeah, I ended up entering off of this close out of equilibrium. Technical, like analysis wise, this really is not bad, but I could have used more, discretion when trading, and that is really, it's a discretional thing. You have to know when to take certain trades and not just act like a robot and press buttons when you see certain things, because that's just not really how stuff works. But yeah, it's a little bit of a bummer. Trade ended up just kind of slowly playing out. Overall, it was not looking bad when we were. It was, yeah, like filling in this gap, and Nasdaq was like actually pushing down a decent amount, but ES was just not. But yeah, overall, I'm content with today. I think the things that I can definitely improve on is, hey, the fact that it was FOMC, and look at yesterday. Look at yesterday was no FOMC, straight just chop work, no real direction, just everywhere. So what makes you think that now that we have FOMC today, later in the day, that we're going to have better price action? You know what I mean? You almost have to just wait until we're out of this, massive range on the higher time frames. So yeah, I definitely could have been done. I could have done better on that. And I think overall, noticing that Nasdaq was, more of an uptrend. It did not look like we had not really confirmed these draws after, this kind of move up and then this continuation of this uptrend. So I could have noticed that, and I could have done better on that. But yeah, overall, I'm content with today. I did end up taking a loss, but that is going to be something that I'm going to learn from. So for sure, some a big learning day. But obviously, it's a bummer to lose a trade. But you need to know that like you can't win every trade. First of all, that. And what are we going to do from this loss? We are going to grow from it. We are going to grow patience. We are going to grow more discretion, and making sure that we are really doing what we should have done. Like this candle looked great after our initial push, but obviously that was followed up with just kind of straight chop to our stop loss, and that's just something that'll happen. But yeah, overall, more of an uptrend on Nasdaq. Should have kind of noticed that. And again, this really isn't full like confirmation to these lows. If we would have gotten down here, definitely would have been better. But overall, I think I just kind of rushed into this trade, and I wanted to take a trade, and I just haven't taken a trade this week. So I felt like myself was just kind of trying to push it, which is not good. That's not what I want to do. But yeah, overall, we'll see what the rest of the week brings. Just need to make sure that I'm not letting either wins or losses affect how I look at the next couple of trades. And yeah, I just need to make sure that I am being patient, using discretion, and just thinking logically about what's going on. And I need to detach from the P&L as well. And I think I am doing well at that, because at the end of the day, it's it doesn't really truly matter. But I do want to push myself within trading, and I do want to continually get better as well. But yeah, I appreciate you and love you, and we'll see what the next week, or what the rest of the week brings.